The morning was still, the kind of silence that feels heavy, almost protective. Since retiring, I had come to love those quiet hours, pruning roses in the garden, listening to nothing but the soft snip of shears. But that peace ended with the low growl of an engine pulling into my driveway. Rowan's SUV, the doors opened in unison. My son stepped out, first tie crooked, eyes downcast, shoulders caving in. Behind him came Livia, perfect as always. Blonde hair gleaming, heels tapping. Against the concrete like a warning. 2 oversized suitcases stood at their side. Something in my chest tightened. Before a word was spoken, I knew this wasn't a visit. Rowan's voice was low. "Mom, we sold the house." Those words hit me like a stone to the chest. The home I had sacrificed to help them buy. The place I thought they'd raise a family. And then came Livia's voice, smooth, careless. "Yes. And the 500,000 is gone, spent." She said it like she was bragging about a shopping trip. My breath caught. Jewelry, vacations, paying debts. "It adds up," she shrugged. And then she rested her manicured hand on one of the suitcases. "We'll stay here, just until things settle." It was so casual, so entitled, as if my home existed for her convenience. My hand tightened around the porch railing. "Kay," and then I said it. Softly at first. "No." Her smile froze, cracked, and shattered. "What do you mean, no?" Her voice rose, sharp enough to slice the air. Neighbors' blinds shifted. Kids slowed. On bikes. Rowan shoved his hands deep into his pockets, avoiding my eyes. "You can't live here," I told them, my voice trembling but stronger than I felt. That's when it happened. Quick, brutal. Livia's hand whipped across my face. Sound skin on skin echoed down the street. Gasps followed. My cheek burned. My pride burned hotter. I pulled my phone from my apron. Rowan begged me not to make it worse, but I did. I called the police. The squad car arrived with flashing lights. Officers stepped out, steady, asking what happened. My voice didn't waver. She slapped me. Neighbors confirmed it. Livia scoffed, dismissing it as family business. But assault is assault. The officers asked if I wanted to press charges. I looked at my son, silent, staring at the ground. That silence cut deeper than the slap. I nodded. That night, long after the police left, I sat awake, replaying it all. The humiliation, the betrayal, and then like a spark in the dark I remembered. The loan. Years ago, I had pulled $40,000 from my retirement to help them buy that very house. I had insisted on paperwork, and Rowan had agreed, signed a promissory note, secured against the property. They had sold the house without paying me back. This wasn't just family drama anymore. It was fraud. I locked the note in my cabinet and called Marcus, my attorney, the next morning. His calm voice steadied me. "Sila," he said, "this is breach of contract. You have every right to fight." And so I did. I changed the locks, installed cameras, drew lines in the sand. Each step restored a piece of the dignity I thought I had lost. When Marcus filed for damages, $60,000 with interest, he braced myself for battle. But nothing could have prepared me for the truths we uncovered. Marcus's investigator found receipts, luxury stores, spas, jewelry, hotel bills. Then $300,000 wired into a fake company, Ames Boutique LLC. No license, no storefront, a shell. And attached to those bills was a name, David Lockhart. A married contractor, older, comfortable. Livia had burned through Rowan's money not just on fantasies, but on another man. When Rowan saw the evidence, his face crumbled. Page by page, his marriage dissolved before him. She told me it was an opportunity, he whispered. But the truth was undeniable. Betrayal layered on betrayal. Still, Livia wasn't done. She stormed into my workplace one afternoon, screaming accusations, trying to flip the blame. Security dragged her out, but her threats lingered. If Rowan goes down, it'll be because of you. And Rowan, my son confessed. Under her influence, he had lied on a loan form years ago, inflating his income. He looked broken when he admitted it, ashamed. Marcus advised voluntary disclosure, and Rowan agreed. It was the first step to breaking free of her grip. The courtroom became the stage where every secret cracked open. Livia's lawyer painted me as a bitter mother-in-law. Marcus laid out the cold facts, the signed loan, the unpaid debt, the fraudulent sale. Neighbors testified to the slap. And then Marcus called David. Lockhart. The affair came spilling out. You could feel the room shift as each lie unraveled. Judge Morales's ruling was sharp, decisive. Repayment of $67,000 within 30 days. Wage garnishment, if not, referral to the DA for possible fraud. The gavel fell and the war was over. Livia wept, her polished mask finally gone. Rowan, silent, then whispered the words I had been waiting for. Mom, I'm filing for divorce. Outside the courthouse, the autumn air felt lighter. He didn't follow her. Oh, he walked the other way. For the first time, he wasn't shackled to her chaos. And me. I wasn't carrying fear anymore. I was carrying my voice, my dignity, my truth. By spring, the roses bloomed again, their stems strong despite the winter. Rowan called every week. His voice sounded different, now steady, humble. Each month, a check arrived in the mail. His way of keeping his promise, Livia's name, meanwhile, appeared in the papers under fraud charges. Her empire of lies had collapsed. I found peace in New Place's gardening clubs. Quiet mornings on the porch, neighbors waving with respect. I rewrote my will, leaving everything to women's shelters. My legacy would help others rebuild what betrayal had stolen. Not 1 cent would go to those who tried to break me. Because here's the truth. Saying no may cost you family, but it saves your soul if this story gripped you. Subscribe to Shattered Bonds, where loyalty, betrayal, and survival collide. And if you've ever felt the sting of family turning against you, trust me, you won't want to miss the next story. Remember, subscribe to Shattered Bonds. Some scars are silent, but the stories behind them can change everything.